With Big Mo. Oh, man.
Christopher, you ready?
Are you going to keep boxing? Yeah. You really love this shit, huh?
Jake Paul's collapse began the instant Anthony Joshua smashed the illusion with a single, brutal reality check. As Logan Paul stood ringside watching his brother get dismantled, frustration turned into rage, and the aftermath became messier than the knockout itself. This wasn't just a loss, it was a public unraveling, a family eruption, and a moment that stripped everything bare in front of the world.
Incredible!
Jake Paul being measured up by Joshua for that right hand! Gets clipped again!
The fight was marketed as fearless, high-risk, and history-changing. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua was sold as a daring gamble that could flip boxing's narrative on its head. But the moment the bell rang, the gamble disappeared and reality took over. Few expected it to unravel this badly, not just for Jake, but for Logan as well. What followed wasn't simply a knockout. It was the very public collapse of hype, ego, and family pride, unfolding in real time before millions who were ready to dissect every second of it.
I thought I just pissed him off. Then he broke my brother's jaw. Fuck this guy.
Broke his jaw, huh?
Yeah, he split his jaw. You know? He don't care though. Jake's having a fucking blast.
The real story didn't begin inside the ring. It started weeks earlier, with Logan Paul speaking as if the result was already written. From ringside interviews to non-stop social media clips, he pushed the same narrative again and again. Anthony Joshua was finished, overrated, and there for the taking. Logan even claimed Joshua was losing rounds before a punch had been thrown. Phrases like legacy ender weren't used as predictions, but as warnings. He wasn't just promoting Jake anymore. He was staking his own credibility on Jake's success. This had moved beyond brotherly support. This was ego on the line.
Yeah, it was largely because he was mostly running away from AJ rather than standing toe-to-toe with him to fight. It's the difference between fighting a Bengal tiger and running away from a Bengal tiger.
The hype machine hit full throttle. Millions tuned in to every bit of the build-up. Analysts reminded fans over and over, there's a world of difference between influencer boxing and a seasoned heavyweight who's faced true champions. But their warnings were lost in the roar. Logan kept amplifying the message. Jake kept buying in. And the Paul brand kept swelling louder, right up until the moment it couldn't anymore.
It really is. Oh, the uppercut, and he took it! Jake Paul took it! Oh, the right hand by... Oh!
The moment the fight began, the gap was crystal clear. Joshua stayed calm and composed, never rushing, never panicking. He simply waited. Jake, on the other hand, looked tense, stiff, and uneasy. By the later rounds, it was no longer about confidence. It was about survival. In the fifth, Joshua sent Jake to the canvas twice with brutal knockdowns that crushed whatever belief remained. The sixth round repeated the story, 2 more knockdowns, 4 in total. At 1 minute and 31 seconds of round 6, it was over. A clean, undeniable knockout. No debate, no controversy, just a heavy silence where the hype once roared.
Since he quickly realized fighting AJ was not going to work for him, he naturally began incorporating even more flight, running away, and freezing, falling to the ground at any chance he had, just to survive the rounds.
I mean, all it's doing is buying Jake Paul more time. I don't like it at all.
Do you remember what Mike Tyson famously said? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic.
So big.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
The stats made the story even harsher. Jake landed just 16 punches out of 56 attempts, a number that doesn't even come close to being competitive at this level. He was simply outclassed. The consequences were real, not just symbolic. Jake walked away with a double broken jaw and required urgent surgery. This wasn't a close fight gone sideways. It was a mismatch that unfolded exactly as the experts had predicted. And then the cameras turned to Logan.
I'm just so proud of him. My mom has it.
Your brother fought his ass off, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just
other
so
heavyweights have taken that right hand and only took one.
I'm just so proud of him. That was incredible. In my view, that was a victory on all fronts.
As Jake was carried out of the ring, Logan completely lost it. Confidence evaporated, and the bravado crumbled instantly. Commentators picked up on it immediately. This wasn't just concern, it was a mix of anger, embarrassment, and panic. Logan erupted, his fury directed not at Joshua, but at Jake. In that moment, he looked less like a protective brother and more like someone confronting the sudden collapse of their entire public image.
He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him.
That's what made it so cringeworthy to watch. Logan had spent weeks hyping, boasting, and projecting confidence. Now the world was watching it all unravel. His trash talk was looped alongside the knockout highlights, his swagger juxtaposed with Jake being carried out. Millions witnessed it live. The Paul brothers weren't in control of the story anymore, they were caught inside it.
Like, minus the actual victory, of course, but bro, like, no one expected him to last 6 rounds with AJ. In my opinion, he won 4 of them. People will argue that he at least won 3. No one expected him to last that long. Rolled his ankle, broke his jaw, still fucking fighting, man. Like, that's toughness.
Backstage, the tension only escalated. Reports say Logan was shouting, visibly shaking, and struggling to rein in his frustration. This wasn't just about a lost fight, it was about being exposed. Anthony Joshua didn't just knock out Jake, he revealed the cracks in the entire Paul experiment. He laid bare the gap between hype and reality, and Logan recognized it the moment it happened.
Realistically, it's one of the craziest propositions of all time.
The online reaction was merciless. Fans tore apart the pre-fight bravado. Analysts dissected every missed punch and failed strategy. Commentators bluntly stated what everyone was thinking. Influencer boxing ends the moment a real heavyweight enters the ring. Logan's meltdown went viral, rivaling the knockout itself. Social media exploded with clips, memes, and debates. Some defended him as simply emotional, while others saw it as desperation, watching a carefully built brand crumble under the weight of reality.
That this YouTuber who's fought Tommy Fury, who's a legit boxer, and, you know, a couple other guys that were legit boxers. That's it. Like, everyone else he's fought Ben Askren, who's really a wrestler. You know, he fought Tyron Woodley, who was an elite MMA fighter, but, you know, not an elite boxer.
Days later, Logan attempted to regain control of the narrative. The tone had shifted entirely. Gone were the threats and trash talk. He framed the knockout as a logical outcome, acknowledged the skill gap, praised Jake for lasting as long as he did, and recognized the severity of the injury. His words were measured, calm, but the damage had already been done. People still remembered the shouting, the taunts, the meltdown. What made it sting even more was the family angle. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a public brother versus brother moment. Logan's anger exposed just how much he needed Jake to win, not for boxing glory, but for image. When Jake fell, Logan fell with him, and the world witnessed it all.
And there's some sort of a rehydration clause. Listen, kids, it ain't gonna matter. You know, there's not a chance that Anthony Joshua is not going to just lose the weight beforehand. He's not going to come in drained. What he's going to do is just do extra cardio.
The fight will be remembered for the knockout, but the fallout is what really lingers. The hype crumbled. The illusion shattered. For the first time in a long while, the Paul brothers weren't in control of the spotlight. They were exposed to it. The moment the fight ended, everything unraveled. Not gradually, not quietly, but instantly. Jake was barely off the canvas when the camera cut to Logan, and his expression said it all. This wasn't shock. It was panic fused with pure rage. His eyes weren't asking, "Is my brother okay?" They screamed, "This wasn't supposed to happen like this." As Jake was helped out, jaw broken and head down, the last thing anyone expected was to see Logan completely lose it, right there, in front of the entire world.
I think the camp wasn't 100%. Is that accurate?
That's kind of what I was going to ask. Like, do you feel like it was your best camp?
No, I mean, just because, like, I was weighing like 200 pounds when we confirmed the fight.
Logan didn't just seem upset. He looked utterly blindsided, like someone had just detonated his carefully built plan without warning. One moment he's the loudest presence in the room. The next, he's pacing, clenching his fists, snapping at anyone nearby. Cameras caught him muttering under his breath, shaking his head, visibly furious. The energy was chaotic. This wasn't a proud big brother moment. It was pure, "You just humiliated me on the biggest stage imaginable" energy. Millions were watching, and Logan didn't care. He lashed out anyway.
You wobbled him. I was right there. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, I did.
I was like, you wobbled him.
Yeah.
Go.
That's what made it so uncomfortable and almost darkly amusing at the same time. Jake was being carried out after 4 crushing knockdowns. The fight stopped at 1:31 of round 6. And Logan looked like he wanted to scream, "You had one job." Not at Joshua, not at the sport, but at his own brother. Commentators noticed immediately. One of them basically summed it up without saying it outright. This isn't concern. This is panic-driven damage control. Logan knew exactly what that knockout meant. This wasn't just a loss. It was reputation destruction in high definition.
To get that world-class gas tank, you need like a Sam Calavita. You need like a Nick Curson. You need like these plyometrics experts that who got heart rate monitors on you, and they're checking when your recovery is ready and go.
Yeah.
And you're fucking yeah. You need guys monitoring your recovery, monitoring your heart rate variability, your VO2 max.
For weeks, Logan had talked as if Joshua was already done. Like this fight was just a setup for the Paul victory lap. He threw around phrases like legacy ender with full confidence. Now, Joshua had ended something, but it wasn't his own legacy. It was the illusion the Paul brothers had been selling. And Logan felt it instantly. You could see it in his restless pacing, the constant gestures, the way he looked less like a protective brother and more like a manager watching his investment collapse in real time.
You take a guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, and then you're going to fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists in the heavyweight division.
Backstage, the tension only escalated. Reports say Logan was shaking, shouting, and visibly furious, replaying the moment in his mind over and over. The unspoken line, "You had one job, Jake," summed it up perfectly. And it was harsh because Jake didn't just lose. He landed only 16 punches out of 56, was dropped 4 times, and walked away with a double broken jaw requiring surgery. On top of all that, he had to endure his brother's anger boiling over in front of the world.
The timing in that right hand, just spectacular.
That's stepping in as well.
Over the top. I mean, that was a full force shot to the temple. I mean, he's Fucksville right now.
Then came the emotional fallout. Pride took a hit. Ego took an even bigger one. Both brothers suddenly found themselves under a microscope. Jake was criticized for stepping into a fight he wasn't ready for. Logan was criticized for talking too much, and then completely losing it when reality hit. Every reaction video, every podcast, every comment section became an unsolicited therapy session. The knockout shattered the illusion. The meltdown confirmed it. What viewers saw wasn't just a fighter getting stopped. They saw 2 brothers lose control of a narrative they thought they owned. And that's why the moment lingers. It wasn't just loud. It wasn't just viral. It was raw, messy, and real in a way the Paul brand rarely allows. Anthony Joshua threw the punches, but the aftermath did the real damage. This fight will be remembered for stripping the hype bare. Skill defeated noise, experience crushed confidence, and reality arrived without mercy. Logan's meltdown became a warning. When ego outshines preparation and family pride becomes public pressure, the results can be catastrophic. The knockout wasn't just physical, it was symbolic, drawing a clear line between influencer boxing and the unforgiving world of professional heavyweights. The arc was brutal and undeniable. Non-stop arrogance, a savage knockout, a ringside breakdown, and quiet damage control afterward. The Paul brothers built an empire on control. Now it's shaken. What comes next won't be quiet, it will be explosive.